Today on 10 Minute IT Jams, we're joined by Raghu Rajakumar, who is the founder and CEO of Eden Exchange. The aim of Eden Exchange is to help people on their journey to buy a new business, franchise, or find the right business opportunity. Its centralized ecosystem is designed to support every seller, no matter what stage they are in the selling journey they might be. Raghu joins us today to tell us more about Eden Exchange and how they're taking the company global. Thank you for coming along, Raghu, and welcome to the Jam.
Thanks a lot for your time, Tom. Appreciate coming.
You're very welcome. Well, let's just jump straight into it. For a business that hasn't worked with Eden Exchange before, what are your key products and offerings?
Look, just quickly I'll give you an idea why we exist here, Tom. I'll give you a spiel. So we exist here realistically. We create an empowered community through our technology of buyers, deal makers, partners, and sellers to enable a successful business transaction. So we're aiming to connect and revolutionize the way businesses are bought and sold. And on top of that, we're providing a dedicated support and team and comprehensive support structure to enable the facilitation of that process, whether you could be a buyer, a seller, a franchisor, a broker, a merger or acquisition firm. We've identified there's a major gap in the market to facilitate these transactions, and we aim to fill that gap as well. So we're created by the founding team here who had a difficult time, myself included, selling an initial business I've run. So I'd worked in the corporate markets for many years. I've worked in the capital raising industry. And always during that time, I'd found there's a missing gap to match a highly qualified, high intent business seller with a highly qualified, high intent business buyers, and also to enable all of the parties that could help facilitate that transaction to make that occur, while also taking into account all of the emotional requirements needed to sell the business. Now, just to take a little bit of a step back, we're in a situation now, there's a perfect timing going on in the market. There's millions of baby boomers who've reached retirement age, and there's a tremendous transfer of wealth going on in the market. In Australia alone, there's an estimated, where we founded in Australia, there's an estimated $6.75 trillion of assets expected to be transferred from one generation to the next. So it's a paradigm shift that really necessitates an innovative solution for the market. And it also requires innovative entrepreneurs, potentially like us, to help create that solution. Now, what's also going around the world is, maybe give you an understanding of the demographics. There's a demographic shift going on right now that maybe all your listeners or viewers should understand. If you're stuck in the tech world or the industry, you may not see this going on right now, but we're probably going through one of the biggest transformations of wealth in the history of human history right now. So you're looking at multiple trillions of dollars right now in America alone, parked with a baby boomer generation that are looking for purchases of the business. So Eden Exchange essentially facilitates a connectivity platform that enables this transaction, anywhere from listing a business, creating an inquiry, qualifying that buyer or seller, and using technology as well as a network and resource to facilitate the transaction as well through a technology that we've developed over the years and are going global with right now.
Right. Okay. Well, now, what are the most recent improvements or innovations in your offerings?
Look, everything we're doing right now, Tommy, is about the platform's ability to adapt, to connect, and evolve our asset based on the needs of the market, coupled with creating a user-centric design that makes it a promising tool for businesses aiming to navigate the complexities of a modern business transaction. So just a few major things we've been doing, the team we've been focused on is, one, we've now got an Eden Exchange parent company, and we have a deal exchange business transaction platform that's utilized by providers in Australia and around the world. So some of the innovations includes a virtual deal room. So the deal exchange deal room caters to specific user needs who are in the process of a business transaction, whether they're buying or selling a business, whether they're looking for help via a recruiter, they're looking by help via a broker, they're looking for financial assistance in getting a transaction done. So the technology we've had creates a customizable deal room that allows users to collaborate, communicate, and also manage the business buying or selling process in one place. So what we're doing is trying to essentially democratize the transaction process, which historically has been almost guarded or safeguarded by some key stakeholders, which could have been specialist advisors, specialist business brokers, or only high net worth business buyers or sellers. Secondly, some of the updates includes a document sharing system. So Deal Exchange allows users to securely share and store signed documents with ease. So ensuring documents are reliable, safe, anywhere from non-disclosure agreement. And I'm using terminology here, and I hope everyone understands this, but it's in relation to a transaction of a business. So non-disclosure agreements, business contracts, qualification requirements, and also specifications of a franchise as well. What we've focused on rolling out and mastering is an actual deal flow management tool and system. So with Deal Exchange, users can manage their deals anywhere from a lead generation campaign to closing a deal and effectively taking control of the entire journey of a business transaction. Anywhere from sourcing high-quality leads to qualifying and nurturing them, the platform is designed with our rollouts to provide the tools needed to streamline the buying and selling process. Now, thirdly is the actual creation of the opportunity. So we've been very careful not to align ourselves from being a competitor to a CRM system or whatnot. What Deal Exchange does through its proprietary technology is to easily capture any existing lead generation sources that allows users to manage and qualify and convert deals without ever having to lead our platform as well. What's driven a lot of this is just a lack of transparency in this industry. You're looking at one of a very old school industry that is due for a major shakeup. We're not using the word disruption because we're not trying to be a startup from 10 years ago. We're actually a scale up that has a significant body and leverage of clients who have been using us for many, many years, have been transacting through us as well. What we've been seeing through that journey with these clients and users of ours is there's a mismatch between the expectation of a business seller for a small business and the expectation of a service provider who's now dealing with them as well. Look, if you're a large organization, you may be dealing with an investment bank or a big five accounting group. But if you're the owner of a cafe, a franchise, a 500 grand business, a 50 grand business, you've created over the years a business proposition that's pretty much your biggest asset potentially after your house. And what our system provides is the ability for them to access the same sorts of service, technology, and interactions as you would get as if you were dealing with one of those major accounting firms or merger and acquisition firms as well, thus sort of providing some democracy or democratization in that small business transaction sector as well.
Well, now, what factors have contributed to Eden Exchange's rapid growth in the market?
Now, the rapid growth, look, we can't take credit for everything. A lot of it's been the demographic trends pushing us up. Yeah. I'm sticking a bit to the big picture as well here that makes us in a position that a lot of the rollouts we're doing is backed by realistic market changes as well. So we've got here a situation where you've got an older generation of business sellers that need to exit. So we may get 10 to 20 to 30 business sellers contacting us a day looking for a solution trying to exit. It's primarily driven by the style and the demographic of inquiries we've got on there. You've got the average age of a business seller coming onto the Eden Exchange system and registering an account at 58 years old. Now, the average buyer you're looking at is about 43 years old. So there's an obvious mismatch here and moving towards demographic imperative pushing us up. Second one in Australia is also there are some migration trends that have pushed us up as well. Now, similar to New Zealand, Australia, lots of the Western world as well, You've got a older cohort of potentially second generation, third generation locals who are trying to sell their business as well. Now you've got a large population of also migrants, international buyers who are now coming into the market as well. So some of the stats we're seeing are about 75% of the business sellers on the market are quote unquote second, third generation locals, while you've got more than equivalent buyers who are coming, who are coming from first generation migrants or even migrants themselves who are looking to establish themselves. That's two. Third is the trend towards technologization as well. Now, COVID itself was a major boom for us in terms of the behavioral requirement for people to be very comfortable transacting or dealing with transactions digitally boosted us to a next level. So we couldn't have done what we're doing a couple of years ago. Right now, the ability for sellers to sign a non-disclosure agreement, sign a contract, go online, do an inspection, access an online platform, make an inquiry, access financing, get a valuation, would not have been at this level of uptake if we done it a few years ago as well. So you've got migration trends, wealth trends, and digital trends that are all pushing up as well. Sorry for the coughing. If you can, I'm not sure you can edit that out, but edit that out. But now the next level we're talking about also are the problem we're solving. Now, we're in one of the most fragmented markets in the Western world and also potentially in the English-speaking Asian world as well. The business selling world, I don't want to offend anyone here, is probably a couple of maybe 5 to 10 years behind the real estate world, the commercial world in terms of technology adoption as well. Australia, to an extent, is on the second, third mover. New Zealand, we're calling France probably the second mover or first mover as well. However, what we're also seeing is that what we're pushing out to market in terms of a technology solution that reduces the time, the effort, and also the requirement for a buyer and seller to interact with the primary transaction partner has had phenomenal uptake as well. So through two or three of those technology trends and the demographic trends are really pushing us along. And our next level in terms of where we're expanding to is taking our learnings from here and moving that to a global play as well.
It's sort of a perfect storm in a way with everything coming together at the same time. Well, I guess one last question. What are your 3 key priorities as you take Eden Exchange global?
Okay, now we've got to, it's always that, what's the word, that conundrum in that we've got to have that unbridled, non-shakeable optimism in what we're doing, while also not drinking our own Kool-Aid in terms of the products we're developing as well. So everything we do has to have a combination of structure, clarity, scalability as well in terms of how we go about doing it. One thing we're extremely fortunate to be in is, and we have to maintain this, is that we're solving a problem that's globally universal. While it can be tailored towards the specificity of the market, what we're trying to do is actually help move an asset from one generation to the next. So one thing what we're doing is ensuring that we've got a global infrastructure and we're investing in a robust and secure global IT infrastructure that can support the company's expansion into various markets. That includes leveraging cloud services to ensure reliable and scalable access to data and applications across different geographical locations. So we can actually implement a well-integrated and secure network architecture that can facilitate seamless communication and data sharing between different branches and teams worldwide. Now, all good to say that. Now that has to be localized. Now, what we're finding is the commercial aspect of tailoring transactions towards different markets is where we're spending a lot of considerable time as well. So, for example, someone selling in a business in the middle of New York could be quite different to someone selling in business in the middle of, Tokyo or the middle of Auckland as well. So there's a localizational and multilingual capability that they're putting as well, that we're implementing technology solutions that support localization, and multilingual capabilities to cater towards diverse markets that translates our services into these areas as well, including utilizing different processes and language processes as well. The third is the data requirements. So in the tech industry, there's different compliance aspects if you're in Europe or you're using general European principles, or in America and whatnot as well. So we're really prioritizing data security, compliance, international regulations to protect sensitive information and maintain the trust of customers and partners worldwide as well. A few things we're not doing, and we just, certain trends come in and come out, and we know they're not always the most useful ones, are virtual and augmented reality. We've pretty much parked that. I think it's not really getting to the traction we thought in terms of a business sale. The other thing is the metaverse as well. I don't want to offend anyone here, but that really hasn't moved in terms of what we're doing. The AI aspect, as well as the aspect of market ability to customize a transaction based on a location, that's really the requirement for us to start moving as well. So those are some of the key points. Now, in order to do that, we need critical mass. We've got fantastic critical mass in Australia, New Zealand, as well as we're getting pushed by our clients to start moving to other markets. So, for example, next week we'll be launching a market campaign in Dubai. Week after, there's another one in London as well. All of these required specificity in relation to the compliance aspects in each market, but it's all based on the simplicity of delighting that user, making sure that user experience is palatable and makes sense to them as well. And thirdly, ensuring it's backed by a cost-effective infrastructure that can implement this as well. So lots of things on our plate that we're working on, but you'll see this in the market over the next week or two as we start launching these as well, Tom.
Some exciting times to come, I guess.
Very exciting, and it can be hard to essentially conceptualize it and summarize it in just a couple of minutes. But the nature of the market we have is it's a sprawling market. There are buyers, there are sellers, there are advisors, there are brokers, finance providers, accountants, valuers, legal people, merger and acquisition. So our challenge, yet our opportunity, is to take this sprawling group of ecosystem participants and bring them onto one system where all of them are profiting, reducing their time to a transaction, and we're in a position where facilitating that and having a transaction system that works where we can grow and scale it in a way that makes a customer delighted and happy as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the Jam, Raghu, and learning more about Eden Exchange and the exciting things you have coming up. We look forward to hearing more from Eden Exchange very soon.
All right, fantastic.